Hi, today I'm going to talk about the fifth point of our 5-point plan to how to come out of a crisis with momentum. The first point was to get your mindset straight. The second point was to maintain momentum during the crisis. The third point was to make sure that you use the time to get better. The fourth point is to take control. And then finally, the fifth point is to act with discipline and purpose. What does that mean? Well, you've just created a plan. You've said what your intention is. You've put it on paper, quote unquote. You've shared it with your team. You're making it visible, and you're using it to rally everyone. Well, you need to actually follow that plan, or it's actually not going to work. I know this is surprising, but you really do. I'm just kidding. But I do find people put plans together, they feel really good about it, and then it falls down and they were wondering what the results were. And it's usually because they missed that critical step of making sure everyone was doing their part. And that's what that accountability is. People actually need to be held accountable. Don't overwhelm them with like 1,000 new things on their plate, especially if they're nervous and if they're more junior. But you certainly can ask them to do very specific steps, come back to you, report how they did and what they did. Follow a few trends, not everything, and watching the news every day can be very dangerous for you. It is easy to quickly want to jump and respond. Now, in some situations with some organizations, you absolutely do need to quickly respond. But for a lot of us, it's a lot of the same thing that's being said day after day. And you have to be careful and make sure you're following things both internally and externally that help you understand where are you on the curve. We're all used to watching the curves of the different cases now in this particular crisis, but there could be others. What are the things that help you know where your business is? When we think about it with CMO-OnLoan, we look at the specific people, meaning our clients, the people we're meeting, and which ones we think will come through as a client if they're a prospect. How are we communicating with our current clients? We look at the people. We also look at capacity. Where are we and how much we can do versus how much is needed to be done right now. So we think about it that way. Some other people have more transactional subscriptions that come in or don't come in. And you need to follow those on a trend basis, not on a one-spot snapshot. That'll, as you probably know, it's probably difficult to know really how you're doing with that. And then make sure if there are external trends. I mean, a lot of the world's gone through this particular crisis. You can't follow that exactly. But if that's how the people are using models to understand how things might work, do those models apply to you? I'm not saying they do. I'm just offering the idea that it's something to consider when you're thinking about trends. And then finally, now's a great time to learn. Things are changing so quickly. Try some things with a small group. Some people call that a pilot. Some at IMES, we used to call it just do a little, learn a lot. Whatever you want to call it. Make sure that you are putting things out there and that you are trying them and then you're taking the moment. Doesn't take a lot, but you're taking the moment to learn about it and then deciding what you'll do after that so that you help also through that maintain control because you're making decisions and you're not just letting the world take you along with it. So that's the fifth point. Make sure you act with discipline and purpose. I hope that helps. Thanks.